Good morning, friends. Welcome to goonlinetrainings.com. We're going to understand one more important concept today, control flow containers. Very important topic. So, whatever we are discussing as of now, all these are important topics. You cannot run away and you cannot leave them. Okay, guys. Almost we have some 2 to 3 classes are pending. Almost we came to the end. Okay. So control flow containers, grouping and looping. So there are 3 containers in SSIS. One is called sequence container. It is called as a folder. So what is the purpose of a folder? It groups the tasks and then sequence it. Why you create a folder called Mukesh, or why you create a folder called accounts, so that you can keep the accounts data, Mukesh data in the Mukesh folder, Bhaskar's data in the Bhaskar's folder, like that. MSBA data in the MSBA folder. We create a folders in Windows, right? Like that, we also create a folders in SSIS. Let me open dev environment. I wanted to show you what is the purpose of a containers. There are 3 containers. One is called sequence container. It is nothing but a folder. So you should be able to go and create a folder. Within the folder, we can place a lot of activities, lot of tasks, right? Why? Because you wanted to have different grouping and different execution. Let me tell you, I'll be going and I wanted to have this task, have this task, have this task. Lot of things I wanted to have. Clear? So the requirement is that you have to create this as a group, this as a group, and this has one more group. Now, if I give you, am I creating a groups? I'm not creating a groups. If I click on start button, this will get executed at the same time. This will get executed. Both of them are parallel. I wanted to create a group. Group means what I do. I go and go to containers. There is a sequence container. I'm going to be dragging and dropping. Place, this group in this. You can place all these things, control, select, and this one you can keep inside this. This is one folder. So again, you take one more sequence container and select control button. I'm pressing control button. I'm pressing and click on this and take this and keep it here. Take this and keep it here. So this is one more container. So I wanted to have this group. I have to execute first. Taravata, I want to execute this. So if you remove this, what will happen? All these are going to run parallelly, but this has to run, this has to run, this has to run parallelly. Once everything is over, then this will run parallelly. Or you can say this one and this one run first, then afterward this one run. If this is over, then this arrow mark indicates these 3 activities can start parallelly, a group by group. You can say this is load dimensional data. And after that, you load fact data. So like that, you wanted to load first dimension tables data, then you wanted to load fact table data. So I wanted to say dim dimension, dim customer table, so dimension table data, you load it as a group, then you load this. So if you wanted to create a group, and after that you wanted to create a sequence like that, if you don't put this arrow, then both of them are parallel, because sequence container is not going to sequence anything. You need to sequence. I need to execute this first, then take this and take this. So this will be the first one. So all of them are going to be executed parallelly. If everything is over, this will get executed, then this will get executed, then this will get executed, because arrow marks are available. So sequence container is not going to sequence anything. If you wanted to sequence, you need to have this arrow mark. Am I clear? Sequence container is a folder. You can have a folder by folder execution. Clear? So that is the purpose of this container. So that is what you need to understand. The next one is called for each loop and for loop. So this container, I can have it. So, looping, right? So, looping. So if you wanted to run some activity multiple times, for example, your boss is going to be telling you, I have 10 files. How many files you have? 10 files. You need to take the data from file by file, and you have to load the data. So you are not going to be creating 10 packages because you may have 10 files today. Tomorrow he will give you 1,000 files. You are not going to be creating 1,000 packages. What you have to do, you have to take for loop container. Okay, for loop container, which is going to be, so any loop will have three things, right? Loop means where you wanted to start, and afterwards where you wanted to perform. So where you wanted to start, and after that you have a condition you're going to be writing, and after that you're going to be having increment or decrement. Clear? So I wanted to start at 1, and after that I will say condition. Condition is I wanted to start. For example, I will say like this: at the rate x is equivalent to 1. So x is a variable I'm going to be creating. X is starting at 1. So I'll say x value till become 10. Then what I'm trying to do, I want it to say set at the rate x is equivalent to x plus 1. Programmatically, I'm saying you start at the 1, x value equals to 1. 1 is, condition is 1 less than 10. This is a true. Then once it is over, what's going to be happening after the condition is over? The action you're going to be doing inside the loop. Clear? Once action is done, then what will happen? It is going to be incrementing or decrement. So x value, you will be adding it to 2. Now x value will become 2. X value will become 2. Now what will happen? The second time, so it will become to 2 is less than 10. Second time again action, whatever be the action you're going to be doing, second time you're doing the action. After that, x value will become 3. Like that, x value will become 10. So after 10, it will become 11. So it is going to be failing. So 10 times, whatever be the action that you wanted to do. What is action? Action is taking the data from file by file. First time, first file. Second time, second file. Third time, third file. I wanted to loop 10 times. Take one by file, and you wanted to run the loop. Clear? So how many times you wanted to do one activity? How many times you want to do one activity? I wanted to do the same activity 10 times. Why? Because of 10 times are available or 5 files are available. 10 times I have to do it. So the condition is known. For example, I will give you data, employee Chennai data, employee Hyderabad data, employee Bangalore data. So every month I'll be giving a employees data, because every time you will get a new employees, the new employees data I'm giving you 3 files every month you will get it. So what you have to do, you should not create 3 packages. You have to run a single one and load all the data, because all the data will have same columns and everything, right? So data will change, but sometimes people may give you 3 files. Sometimes they say, we don't know whether we may give you 3 files, we may give you 3,000 files, we don't know. If that is the case, so you have to use for each loop container. Clear? If you know how many times you need to run the loop, every day only 10 times. This is fixed. You know the condition. How many times I have to run? 10 times every month. Clear? If that is the case, you have to say for loop is useful. But customer will say, I don't know whether I can give you 10 files or 20 files, 0 files, 1,000 files. I don't know. Based on that, you have to run the loop. So loop will have starting, condition, increment. Clear? But I don't know the condition, whether 10 times or 20 times. If that is the case, go in for each loop container. Clear? So depends upon the data, depends upon the number of files available in the source. Those many times for each loop is going to be working. So this is interview question. Are you getting? So that is what is called looping. Looping means the same activity I have to run multiple times. The condition is known at the design time. Design time means at the time of creating a package, customer is telling this package should run 10 times. This package should run 20 times. So you know the condition. For each loop means condition is unknown. Am I clear? So I will give you one requirement is insert 10 numbers in a table using a loop. I will go to SQL Server. First, I have to create a table. I have to create a table. What is the requirement? You have to insert 10 numbers or 1000 numbers one by one. So it is a looping activity. For loop, for each loop is a looping activity. Looping is a common programming concept in C, C++, Java, .NET. Everywhere you have loops. But in the SSIS, we have also have the same loop. It is a for loop. Clear? So that is what I'm going to be using now. So what is the requirement? Insert 1000 numbers, insert 10 numbers. That is what is the requirement. So I go to company table. I go create table. What is the table name? TBL nums. I have only one column. The column name is called integer. That's it. I'm going to be creating only one column, one table. Okay. Now you can see nothing, but how to insert the data? Insert into table name values. Now I wanted to insert one, then afterwards two, then afterwards three, then afterwards four. So can I insert one by one manually? It will be irritating a job. So how many numbers I have to insert? 1000 numbers I have to insert. Manually inserting is irritating a job. One by one. If I insert manually, it will be irritating job. What I do, I wanted to dynamically insert the data. So what I should do? I have to go first get the for loop container. Double click on this. So before that, I have to declare one variable. What is the variable? The variable is called, let us say, X. X is the variable and the package name. Demo number 16 for loop example. Okay. So I wanted to create one variable. Variable is called X. Now X is the having the value called 0 or anything. Now this X I'm going to be using. So starting value, you need to say @X. Remember, we have given only X. Remember, we have given X. If you see, there is no symbol here. So at the time of, you should not put @X. Clear? Only X. But at the time of assigning the value, here you have to use @X. So X value 1, what is the condition? X value till it becomes less than or equals to 10 or 100. Okay. Till becomes 100, I have to do this. So X @X is equivalent to @X plus 1. Clear? So this is the 1. So X value equals to 1. 1 is less than 100. This is a true. When this is a true, you need to do some action. After that, you increment. Where is the action? Action, I wanted to insert data. So to insert data, this task I'm going to be using. So where I need to insert the data? I have to go to company database, connect it to company. So this one I'm going to be using. Where is it? I would like to insert this value. Clear? So copy this value. I am going to be inserting. There is a question mark. Question mark means you need to supply some parameter. So click on the parameter. What parameter value I will supply? I will supply a parameter called variable. So the X value, I'm going to be giving it to 0. Why 0? Because only one question mark 0. So the parameter size is 1 minus 1. Okay. So parameter size is -1 means whatever be the size. You can say long or you can say numeric, anything is fine. Why I said 0? Because you have only one question mark. I told you, if you have a first question mark, it is 0. You have a next question mark, it is 1. So X value, what is X value now? X value is equals to 1. 1 will go here. Question mark means this is X is mapped here. X value 1 will go. Afterward, X value will become 2 will go. 3 will go like that. Automatically, you're doing at the rate X equals to X plus 1. What is the meaning? X value 1, 1 plus 1 will become 2. Then X value 2, 2 plus 1 will become X equals to 3. Like that, it is going to be happening. Clear? So the dynamically I am going to be supplying. So that is what I have to do it now. You go, you have to double click on this, give this, and afterwards go to parameter mapping, user X. This is what is called numeric value, parameter name 0 and size 1. So let me start, execute the package. Start and execute the package. You will be able to see 100 numbers are going to insert. Now, have you seen? So it is doing one by one, one by one, one by one. You go back, you will be able to see no data here, but you will be able to see 100 rows. Have you seen this? Totally 100 rows you can see. You can delete all the data. So if you wanted to do operations like that, so if you wanted to do any operations like this, okay. So if you wanted to do any operations like that, I don't have any data. Let me just go back, double click on this. I wanted to this time have some 150 rows or 140 rows, starting with 1 and increment by 150 rows. I wanted to see, save the package, and I'm going to be running. You will be able to see 150 rows here. So stop this like that. You will be able to see totally 150 rows. Clear? So like that, if you wanted to run any activity, so you need to declare one variable. You have to supply at the rate X equals to 1 condition, then increment. So at the time of declaring a variable, you should not give at the rate symbol here, and it is always integer value. Clear? You cannot say string data. So integer value can only be become less than or equals to X plus 1 you can have. When you declare as a string data, then definitely you will not be able to give anything. Here I'm giving 0, but here I'm starting with what? 1. So you can give 0 or 100, 1000 there, doesn't matter. In this, it will become 1. Yeah, am I clear? So anything, if you want to perform like this, you will be able to perform like this kind of an operations only, nothing else. This is what is called for loop container. So the next one I'm talking about requirement of for each loop. Get the data from the all flat files and load into SQL Server table. Create many text files in your source folder. So if you have thousands of files, from where I need to get the data. So each file contains different data, but same structure. Columns are same. So customer will tell you, Bhaskar, I will give you thousands of files. You have to load the data. So how to load the data from all files? If it is one file, I can create one package, but I'm going to be giving you thousands of files. Clear? So I will go, there is a SSIS source data, right? So there is a data called for each loop source data. When you open this folder, I have a data of Bangalore data. You see, columns are same. Ram, Kiran, columns are same, but data is different. Chennai data, Radhika, Jyoti, Anushka. When you see Hyderabad data, you have Nitya, Tilahun, Umesh, Raju. You have same columns, but data is different. You may have UK data, Godofai, Kishore, Manindra, Prabhu. So you have the different data. You cannot create. So Joseph, Leela, Megha, Simret, like that. I have different data, and I have some data in the North India. One more folder. I have Delhi data, Aruna, Suresh, Lalal Kumar, employee Mumbai data, Shilpa, Kavit, Rahul. Like that, I have different data, but a lot of files I have. So I have one Excel data also. I have one Excel data. I don't have Goa data, UK data, like that, India data, Canada data, like that. I have a lot of data. Excel files also has some data. And these are four different files. You may get 1,000 files today. Tomorrow you will get a 200 files, 1,200 files, or 500 files. You don't know. So you have to take the data and you need to load the data. That is what is called the requirement. So in that case, what I should do, I have to take a for each loop container. So 17 demo for each loop container. Clear? So here what I am going to be doing, I wanted to run the data from multiple files. First, you have to go get this for each loop container. Double click on this. Where is the data? Click on collection. First, you have to choose a enumerator. So this fellow is called enumerator. Each file I have to repeat it. For each file enumerator. So this is the first property I'm talking about, enumerator. Okay, na? So what I'm talking about, for each file in that folder, where is the folder? The folder path you have to give. Okay. And which files you would like to take it, all of them we need to provide one by one. So this fellow is going to be taking for each file enumerator, for each ADO enumerator, ADO.NET, then from variable, node list, SMO means SQL management object, HDFS means Hadoop, ADO, lot of things are available. So we never use all of them. We use either for each file, for each item, or ADO.NET or SQL SMO. SMO means what? So you wanted to take all the tables data. You wanted to take all the stored procedures data. You wanted to call all the views data. Like that, anything you wanted to get it from the SQL Server object, you can use that. So most of the time you're going to be looping the file. So where is my file? File, go to browse folder. I go to D drive. I go to SSIS source data. In that I have a folder called, for each loop source. So this is the data I'm going to be taking. What files you need? I wanted to have star.txt file. Only txt files data you can take it, not Excel data, not all file data. All file data you cannot take it at the same time. You need to have purely Excel data. You can have purely txt files data, like that. Okay. Now, fully qualified means complete path I need to get. Traverse subfolder. If there is a folder, inside again there is a subfolder. When I go to SSIS source data, there is a folder inside a folder. Inside there is a folder. I need to go and get the data. So remember, so that traverse subfolder. Now I need one variable. So what is the variable I'm going to be creating? New variable. Variable name I can give you. Any name you can give, path. And it is a user variable. String is the name and no value blank. I'm going to be giving variable, and I have done this. Let me show you what I have done it. I have taken one for each loop container. So this is the source. Okay. So what I'm going to configure, I'm going to be configuring the path. What is the path? D drive. I have, let us say, I have some files in India folder. File number 1, file number 2, like that. I have many files. So let us say it is employee underscore, let us say, Bangalore .txt. Employee underscore, let us say Hyderabad.txt. Like that, I have many files. So first one, I have configured for each loop container, which is going to be using a what is called as a element enumerator enum. Enum, it is going to be configured first. This is going to be going here and getting one file by file, and the path is going to be stored in this a path variable. I have created. Now it is going to be storing the path. What is the path? D India. That is the folder. And what is the path? Employee underscore Bangalore dot txt. Clear? So enumerator is going to go to this file. It is going to be getting the file. Clear? So this I am going to give it to where? Give it to a data flow task I'm going to be doing, because data flow is going to be loading the data. So in this, we will give you source, we will give you destination. Data flow will have a source, so data flow will have a destination. Kada? So what I'm trying to do, it is going to be supplying the data, but this path I'm going to be giving it to source. Clear? So the source, what it does, dynamically it will go to this file and get the data from this file. Clear? Next time, this enum, this enumerator will go and get the second file. This will go and get the second file data. The second file path will change here. So this time, it is not a Bangalore file. Second time, Hyderabad file. So Hyderabad file will be taken and this will be given dynamically. And this time this will go dynamically and get the data from this file. And it is going to be loading into the destination. You will have a table here. Clear? So every time dynamically we are changing the path. This is what is called dynamic connection. So this is the employee Hyderabad file. I have to go to employee Hyderabad and get the data. Before that, I have to go to employee Bangalore and get the data. This is what is called a dynamic connection. I have to make it. So every time this will change. Every time this value will change. Every time this value will change. Every time this connection will change. Right? It is not a one file. So that you have to know clearly. Every time you have to get the everything dynamically. Clear? Nothing static. Compulsorily dynamically means you need to use the variable. I have created a variable called a path. This is going to be automatically mapped. You need not do anything. Enumerator is going to be looping one by one. So let me go and show you what all I have done it. So double click on this. First one, I go to collection enumerator. This fellow is going to be looping here. So all the text files you will be getting, complete path he will be storing into a path, user colon path. The path is this path. Clear? So it is going to be storing. Afterwards, what I'm trying to do, I am trying to implement a data flow task. So this fellow is looping. Double click on this. Now get the source. Where is the source? You go CLAD file source. Statically, you need to give one file. First static, then we'll make it dynamic. Source, let us say EMP file. One file you can take it statically. Go to D drive. SSIS source data. Where is the for each file? You can give any folder, Hyderabad, Chennai, UK, anything. You can choose one thing. Click on OK. Now it is taking Chennai. So preview. This is a static. Clear? So one file data, Radhika, this is the data I'm going to be taking. Click on OK. Now it is a static. We'll make it a dynamic later. Now what I do, I wanted to take and OLEDB destination, dump all the data. Double click on this. Now go to company database and create a fast load. Now I'm going to be creating a EMP underscore BBB, something like that. I create one table and click on OK. Click on mappings, click on OK. Now, this is source connection is static. Every time I need to get the data and dump into a single table. But this time it has to go to the next file. I have to make the dynamic. So make the dynamic connections means you go here, right click, go to properties. Clear? Go to expressions, click on dot, dot, dot. You have to go to connection string and you expand, go to what connection string, then click on dot, dot, dot. Now you open, you will be able to get one path. So every time you will be able to get the new path because every time what will happen, you will be able to get the new path here. The path will be given to this. This will be establishing a connection dynamically. You will be able to see effects. Have you seen the effects? Right click on this, go to properties, expressions, click on dot, 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 open, choose the connection string, go and let me click on a dot, 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 open this, drag and drop this. No, sir. You delete everything, drag and drop this, and I am going to be using, so click on expressions, that thing you will be able to get it. Now this is how you can close this window. Now this is what you are going to be making dynamically. That's it. Okay. Now I wanted to run the package. Save this. Close all but this. Now click on start. When you click on the start, it is going to be taking the data from different flat files. Let me go and show you the table names and everything. Okay. Now you are able to see. Oh, this is the mistake. Let me do it. Okay. So I just go up, execute this. I have the all files data. Totally 42 rows are coming. Clear? Let me delete all the data. Let me show you again. It is going to be getting the data dynamically from each and every file. So let me go and let me execute. And I wanted to go to data flow and start. See now? It is going to be dynamically getting data. Last file data is 3 rows. So you will be able to get the data dynamically. Now you see all the data you will be able to get. But let me tell you one more thing. I wanted to see slow motion. So how do you do the slow motion? You have to go to the data flow. There is a go to data flow. There is a option called right click on this enable data viewer. So right click on this, disable data viewer and enable data viewer. When you enable it, you will come to know which data is going down, which data it is loading. It will show you everything in the slow motion. So cricket match is going on. There is a wicket gone. So that time the video will be played in the slow motion so that you will understand what is the issue in the game. Clear? If you wanted to see something in the slow motion or step by step, we can go enable data viewer and click on the start button. Now you see what will happen. It is going to be telling me, hey Bhaskar, this is the file. It is got loaded. So what file it is taking? Ram Kiran. Now click on this. Now it will tell me, Bhaskar, I am taking the second file, third file, fourth file, fifth file, sixth file, seventh file, eighth file. Everything is over. Now you close this. Now everything got recorded. Now you will be able to see the data. Like that, slow by slow, you can also have it. Slow motion wise. So you will be able to see the data. Now you will be able to understand which data it is going to be loading. Let me show you. So first file is, employee, this one, it is loading. You can see first file is Ram Kiran. You can see second file is called Radhika Jyoti. It is going to be loading like that. See, so this is how you are going to be understanding which file is going to be loaded, and we'll continue tomorrow. So if you have any questions, we will be able to discuss in the class tomorrow. So this is how you will be able to work with a for each loop container. Clear? So make sure that you go, and once everything is tested, you need to disable this. Go and disable. And it is not available in the control flow. Control flow, you cannot have the data flow. This is the data you can see. So only in the data flow, this is available. Clear? So enable data viewer. Chalo. So once you check, you need to delete or you need to disable the enable data viewer. Otherwise, it will not move to the next phase, right? You wanted to play the video continuously, not by pausing. You cannot see the movie. But sometimes in the cricket match, they'll pause the video and show it. But once that is rectified, they will broadcast the match continuously. Live streaming is going to come. Once it is done, you have to remove it and show the execution completely. Clear? So for each loop is very, very important topic. We'll continue in tomorrow's class.